Hello, hello, and welcome to, oh, there we are, to the last live stream of this month. I'm happy you're here. Let's get drawing. Let's get started while we talk a little bit. If you're here, say hi in the chat. Summer has sort of made its reappearance here. The temperatures have been up and down. It's always physically a little bit confusing. But it's also good to feel a little bit of warmth again, I think. And my plan was to work on this for a little bit. If you haven't watched the previous live streams, I can zoom out a little bit. So this is what I did. Try to do that quietly. And so, so basically, sometimes I work on these things in between streams and Zoom calls, and sometimes life gets in the way, and this is one of those works where I simply didn't have time to work on it. And so it becomes this product of the live streams, which in a way is funny because of the theme that I try to focus on this month, which is the now, whatever that means. But for me, it also reflected a little bit of perhaps a loss of control. Perhaps some need to sort of make things better privately, off camera, if you will, to compensate for what? I'm not really sure. I want to say like it's a lack of self-confidence, but I'm not really sure if that's correct. However, time and life made it so that this drawing has only been worked on during the hours of the live stream and the hour of the Zoom call, which effectively now means that I think this is the 4th live stream, if I remember correctly. Not really sure. Oh no, I skipped one. So 3 live streams and a Zoom call. So this is basically the 5th hour that I'm working on it. Which is interesting, just in a sense of, you know, time gauging. Sometimes I wonder, especially when you price things, you know, like how much time does it actually take? And yeah, that can be very different from how some works feel versus how some works just fly off your easel. So, well, that was my introduction rant. Let me check the chat. Hi Rosie, hi Kelly, hey Dylan. Ariana is with friends today, so Ariana will not join us in the chat today. But she says hi. And I will be seeing Ariana this Saturday when we're going to a museum. We're going to a museum quite far away for like Dutch standards, I suppose. And it's a nice museum. I went there a couple of years ago when they had one of the first exhibitions, I think in the Netherlands at least. They had an exhibition on her in Italy. Let me grab it. They had this beautiful lady, and it was a very special exhibition because of the fact that it was the first time that her works, I think, were displayed outside of Italy or something about that, like Western Europe. So I called my friend at the time, or not called, but texted my friend at the time. I was like, she studied art history. I'm like, do you know this lady? Because apparently she was like Michelangelo's level famous at the time. And she was like, no, never heard of her. So I went there, and that was great. But it's also a really great museum in general. So we're going back, and we're going back this time for Pekka Halonen.
Kan ik douchen of hoor je dat?
Ja, je kan douchen. Dat is prima.
Ik ben een beetje vies aan het.
Oké. Bye. We're going this time for Pekka Halonen, who is a Finnish painter, a male painter. And they call him the snow painter. So it's very interesting to see what he, how the country that you live in obviously influences how you paint. It's just interesting to see how that takes shape. Anyways, let me catch up with it. We moved here in my apartment. We moved workspaces, bedrooms. My son is now in his bedroom, and there's a little bit of like one-man traffic going on. So if I look distracted, it's because I can't close the door here for now because my laundry is literally hanging there and stuff. So that is my distraction. Linda, thank you for being here. Hey, Lucia, how are you doing? So yeah, that is also the now. I'm very happy in a way that, at some point all my stuff was not in the place where it would logically be, where it was or where it was supposed to be. And I think I had a bit of like a slow meltdown over the week where I just checked out at some point. Like, I don't really get like externally upset or anything or angry or whatever. I just stopped functioning, I suppose. But yeah, we worked pretty hard the last few days to get everything somewhat back in order again. And now it's, getting used to this new apartment dynamic. I wanted to do a similar sketch in my sketchbook for this sort of egg. I don't know what it is. Let's call it eggs. Pocket. But I didn't have time, so I'm just winging it here. I don't know what. Yeah, we'll see. stop. Alsjeblieft. Teenagers. Oh my god. Hey, Silke. I feel bad because no, I don't feel bad. Yeah, I do feel bad, but I will catch up on the grade because I know you posted a lot of student work, and I will check up on that tomorrow because I have a bit of a day off planned tomorrow, and I will go check all your beautiful work. And I've been very I've been happy and a little bit, like, I don't want to say honored, like it sounds a little strange, but I feel like you all have, sort of breathed a little bit of life back into my courses. And therefore also back into the thing that I enjoy, and at the same time stress way too hard about, which makes it sometimes hard to enjoy. But when other people, like my students, do the work and like you give me feedback, it helps tremendously. Sort of keep that anxiety in check. Definitely, yes, I know you get that. I know you do. Oh, the other thing I did on Sunday, I was quite proud of myself. Like, Sunday was that day where my brain melted in my skull and I was surrounded by chaos, and and all of a sudden I got an email like, your event is about to start in an hour. I was like, what event? What are you talking about? And I signed up for a drawing session with, I don't know, her name is Regita, but I don't know. Hold on, let me just check her Instagram. So she is great. She is a great nude model, and she does these wonderful poses. And sometimes when I do these online drawing things, I get, I don't want to say bored, but sometimes I get understimulated because my brain is like that. I can't post the link in the chat. Let me post the Some of you may know her. I think Libby at some point recommended her to me, and she does photos, and I think a couple of years ago she started doing Zoom sessions, and I really enjoyed those. And then she took a break, which is a good thing to do when you need that, but I really missed her because she does this really like super distorted perspective, but also the stuff she does with her body. Like, girl, I can do half and keep that pose for 10 seconds, and then I need 3 days to recover, like that. And she does it for a couple of minutes. Yeah, I think a lot of people in our sort of community know her. She's great, but she started doing live posing sessions again. So she opened an Instagram channel for that. If any of you want to join that, you can do that. So I did that on Sunday, and I was so rusty. Like, it's not just lack of drawing, but it's also, I don't know if this is relatable to you, but sometimes I measure the amount of stress that I have in my body and my system by my complete inability to draw what I want to draw. Like, somehow that is obstructed by tension in my body and my mind. And it's so funny because I find it really difficult to know, to sort of, know, I guess, when I'm super stressed. And most of the time, other people tell me, why do you look so stressed, or why do you look so snappy or so, pissed off. Usually I come across a bit angry. And then I start noticing that, oh yeah, okay, maybe something's going on. But like, that light bulb stays off on its own unless somebody else flips it. And the funny thing is, when drawing or when doing art, and also, by the way, when playing an instrument, a musical instrument, the fact that all of a sudden stuff that you could do 2 days ago now suddenly doesn't work is usually indicative of like stress. Like a bit of a red flag. So unless I'm drawing, it's not, I don't notice my stress. Like, maybe it's you, it's not me. All right, I am. Let me just catch up on the chat. She gets into some wild position. Yes. Yeah, she's great. Oh, now I gotta come up with something, guys. I wish I had planned this. Anyone else have that when you draw? Yeah, alright. When you draw from the mind, I always need to check where's the thumb. Somehow I always draw the hands the wrong way around. I've been having a hard time engaging with drawing in practice. One of the reasons I try and keep, yeah. Yeah, it's like, say, literally the same. Like my live streams right now, in between stuff, is like the time when I need to sit down and draw. Because without that, I'm like... on my phone. I'm not really sure where this is going, so we're just gonna... You forget which side... Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, there's so much rotation, like, everywhere. So I try to sort of bend myself that way, and even then, it's... Yeah, hanging out with you. Hanging out with you helps. I'm just gonna try and quickly put some stuff in here because it's getting a little... This is harder than I don't know. For some reason I imagine myself like going with the flow, you know, like organically putting stuff in here, and yeah, that kind of never, or not never, but it's harder than I usually expect it to be, to sort of put those figures in. That's a really good point, Linda. Yeah. It's much harder. It's coming out really cool though, yeah. They're not complaining, like they're pretty flexible. A little bit of anatomical leeway here. Spend a lot of time just thinking about how to work on that piece and not actually, yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, you're still considering it. Like, we tend to, I don't know where, maybe Ariana told me, or maybe I read it somewhere, I can't remember, but that procrastination, because we look at it very negatively often, because everything needs to be done now, you know, everything needs to be checked off the list. But procrastination is also like a process, if you will, where you're sort of playing around with stuff and considering this, considering that. Like non-functional procrastination is a problem, of course, that everyone who suffers from that knows, but the actual act of procrastinating is actually just a way for your brain to, you know, consider some stuff. And it's just, it's too bad that it has such a overall negative vibe about it, you know, that it's something that you always need to be fighting. Whereas some of us, I know it's not for everyone, but I think people who naturally procrastinate are people who just like to sometimes go slow without actually doing something. put one chose. Maybe we can put another one here. Okay, do. I really love what I'm seeing with the upper three figures. Yeah. I trust what you're seeing to be good, even though perhaps my intention was different. I kind of like that dynamic. It also makes me feel, you know, those like 3D kind of weird cards that you can buy where you turn them and then the picture changes. I kind of feel like we have that vibe going on where I draw something and in our quantum universe it could be 2 things or 10 things at the same time simultaneously in our art hive mind, if you will. I try and do the 10-minute daily practice. It seems to help, and that's really good. Yeah. Yeah, you do that with like Dylan in on live stream, because I know he does 10 minutes every day as well. I at some point kind of aggressively try to break my art stalemate by doing like a painting every day, stuff like that. It works well. Recharging your energetic bucket while internally. Yes, exactly that. I try to use my sketchbook and limit my colors or strokes to help me not feel too big. Yeah, exactly. Like make it smaller. Looking cool, procrastination can just be the time it takes until something's ready to be done, right? Exactly. No, that's a really, like, good way of framing it. And I like that because you have this talent to frame things in a more positive light, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's like it totally makes total sense to not feel bad about it. Well, some pieces I know never finish. That's okay. Yeah. I still have one of those whale 3D posters. Those were cool, by the way. I was so good at that at some point. Dylan 10 minutes. Yeah, those are cool. Dylan has such dedicated yes, man. I wish I was like that. I also know my limits. And trying to tackle drawing hands. Yes, current struggle. That is a struggle. Yeah, but you know, regarding your comment, Linda, yes, I get it. And at the same time, I think that art and this online stuff, it allows us to do what we do in the way that suits us most. And it's unfortunate that some of us, perhaps in life, have been told that the way that we do things needs adjusting, or that other people do it better, or that other people do it more, have more discipline, or have more this and have more that. And then you get this feeling, either strong or in the background, that you need to compensate for that, that you need to change. And I too wish in some weird way that I could do a live stream every day for 10 minutes, 363 days perhaps. It takes 2 days. You know, Dylan, I remember Dylan at some point, you said that you were in a hospital or something. I was like, oh yeah, let's live stream. And that's when I realized, I think at that point, because it felt really extreme. I think at that point, and also when we talked about it, is that is something that you like to do. And that kind of resonated with me, like maybe I need to stop again with trying to be someone or do things that don't suit my my person and my energy levels, and just me in general. And I remember you saying that you did it because you missed it, because you liked doing it so much. And that's kind of when it clicked with me, because I don't like live streaming every day. I get really sad thinking about having to do that every day. It would suck the joy out of it for me within like 3 days. And I like live stream, like I love this, I really do. But make me do it every day? No.
Ben je alweer klaar?
Nee, ik ben nog bezig. Tot 9 uur, alsjeblieft. Ja. Yeah, you know, you guys are saying a lot of good stuff, and I know a lot of you are compromised physically, energy-wise. But you know what? Even if you weren't, even if you had like the best health, no issues, 100% energy, like the drive is on, even then, you could just not be that person who is happy doing something every day, or doing something for 10 minutes only, or do whatever. You know, that's kind of the point, is that we have this idealized idea about discipline and, you know, the way that we should be. And I feel like we haven't been taught enough to focus on what we do naturally, right? And for some people, that might mean that you work on a painting for 2 weeks, every day, nothing else exists, and then just not do anything for 2 months. Just an example. And other people benefit from doing something every day for a shorter amount of time. Other people benefit from doing something every day for a really long amount of time. And so I feel like if you fight that that natural rhythm that you have, you're not going to enjoy doing it for very long. You need to remember that when you're down, yes, you need to not be down on yourself too much. I know it's hard. I've been taking weekends off this year, and it has been something where I thought, how am I able to get myself to practice showing up and sharing the process? Has been energizing for me, so it helps. That's really cool. Yeah, we do. We have to find our own ways, and also I think, you know, like you said, your way can change, right? It doesn't have to be this one format. Sometimes you feel this need to do more live streams, and sometimes you feel the need to be on social media more or less or whatever. Same thing with like working on one painting or working on multiple paintings. Sometimes it's like this flurry of starting canvases, and then working through all of them at the same time. And sometimes it's just this one portrait that we work on for days, for weeks. And you need all the energy for Gretchen, all of it. This was a lot harder than the other weird uterus that we have, that I planned actually in my my sketchbook, but that's fine. A little bit more space. But yeah, I also, by the way, unearthed some of my gigantic canvases that I still have. There might be, you know, if I have everything settled. Like, not now, but maybe in the winter or something. We might do like a live stream on a big canvas. I just have to buy, like, my microphone right now is, you know, just mounted here, fixed. But with larger works, and I'm just sitting, with larger works, I think it might be better if I get like a microphone that you can clip on so you can walk around. How is Gretchen, by the way? Is she doing okay? Gretchen is doing so good right now. I think we have a checkup in a couple of months. Just so I know it's not spoiled. That's good. That's really great to hear. I need to get more of these weird little erasers. Cool. All right. It's not bad for a total improv. I still want to do some stuff. Let me zoom out a little bit. I still want to do some stuff with like this black area, this darker area where it goes into the background, and perhaps, I'm not sure if you can see that, there are some darker elements here too. And I might do something with or in the background, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna give that a little bit of thought. So this would pretty much now be 5 hours of work, I suppose. And I don't know what to think about that. I have no like way of measuring any of it. I do feel, I will admit that, I don't know about you, sometimes time flies, but 90% of the time I feel like I worked on something for longer than the actual hours sort of feel to me, you know? I feel like this was a lot of work, like I'm kind of feeling it. And at the same time, it's like, oh, it's only 5 hours total, which is just a funny thing to notice. Now we have a live stream in a live stream because I zoomed out so far that. Hold on. But I really do enjoy working on it. It's very, how do you say that? Accessible, if you will. Like, I just need to break out my pencils, the end, and it kind of gives me that little bit of extra brain space that I need when my stuff is everywhere. All right. I like the background noise sounds play. Yeah. Yeah, because I obviously mentioned this like 1,000 times, but I live really high up, like 11th floor, but you can still hear a decent part of, there's a playground and a park right behind my apartment building, which is great. And there are always kids there, and it's like this nice level of sound, because I don't like too much screaming and too much kids, you know. But on the 11th floor, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're playing football, you're playing this, okay, it's fine. So that's great. I got my balcony door open. I was looking down, and when I looked up, one of them turned around. That is trippy. I would be a little bit like, okay. It's really funny because we mentioned this before, right? Where I painted something and my mom was like, oh yeah, that's so nice. Like the way she's looking down. And I'm like, she's not looking down, she's looking up. And my mom's like, no. And we were like, there was no situation where she was looking straight at us. Whatever I painted, it was like, for her, it was down. For me, it was up, the end. It was hysterical. Looks like 5 hours away. Yes, it was. Fractal streaming. That is a really cool thing. We should make a thing out of that. Fractal streaming. If you want to hang out and sketch animals after this, I'm doing my monthly Let's Face It at 9, which is like now. Yes. Okay, let's do it. Thank you for being here, by the way. Kids are away. Oh, we love kids, but we also like it when they're away. All right. I'm gonna cut because my cat is like destroying her litter box right now. We have a Zoom call on Friday, this Friday, which is the last day of the month. So I hope that you can join me on Zoom, 8 p.m. same time. Chill, turn your camera off. It's all good with me. Friday on Zoom. If you want to stay updated, I will send out a message on my Instagram channel and my newsletter. All right. So thank you for being with me. I will now join your animal live stream, Dylan, and I will see you. Hopefully, I will see you Friday. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.